Good afternoon, spirits. In today's session, we're going to seek spirits in Highland Lawn Cemetery in Indiana. However, there is one particular spirit that I'm trying to see if they can come through, because there is a story about him and his companion. I found this cemetery totally random. I realized I have a book about haunted places instead of cemeteries. What if I try to think about, having spirits come through from a place instead? So I just said, let me look at the book. As I was just scrolling through it or flipping through it, I stumbled upon this particular page. Here's the book itself. I'll get the EMF meter going in a second. Okay, and then there's that page. Isn't that interesting? So there's the cemetery. You can take a quick pause on that if you want to read the story about what's about to happen, hopefully, or what I'm trying to get in contact with. And then, because I'm already on the book, I'm going to let you also take a glance at the other portion, which is on this side. If I can get close enough for you guys to read. Okay, all right. So like I said, that was kind of odd. I just basically flipped about 2 seconds worth, and it was automatically like, this was a sign. I think this is literally a sign. I had to go and see if I can seek spirits from this cemetery, and particularly one spirit and his companion. So if we get anything related to what the story is about, that'd be awesome. If a spirit can tell me their name that resides there. But like I said, there is one name I'm hoping to get, and then of course something else as well. Hint. So just so you guys can see a better view of the gate. Beautiful. And by the way, I thought it was interesting how I did a session regarding Cypress Lawn, which also had a castle-like gate entrance. And funny enough, Highland Lawn. So both had lawn at the end of the cemetery. So I'm wondering if some other cemeteries with the lawn word also have cool gates like this. I don't know. So I'm going to hit Spirit Talker. So to the spirits that hopefully reside in Highland Lawn Cemetery in Indiana, and the one that again has a companion that was very loyal to them even after passing. They never left their side, to the point where they did end up being with them. So I'm going to hit it right now. And the devices here, which I think you've already figured out, because again, I had a session going until a phone call really interrupted my session. It was doing really well too. Is the EMF meter. And it's basically, you can say yes by going to yellow. Can you do that now? Just as a test to show us that you are able to go to the yellow. Thank you. And of course, if you want to do a strong yes, you can of course hold that yellow or go beyond to the orange and red. Cat balls, they're the clear balls that you see displayed in my room. And you just give yourself the ability to tap it or try to pick it up. They light up harmless to spirits. Very harmless. It just lights up to let us know you're here. We can't see you, but that'll let us see you in a sense. Hopefully it makes sense. You can also tap them to confirm things that I'm talking about.
My bones.
Your bones? Well, he does have his, I believe, his body in that mausoleum, the family mausoleum. So, hello to all the spirits. My name is Detective Lazaria. Before I forget to introduce myself. And in my previous session, somebody asked me what year it was. I'm going to tell them. It is 2025. So I'll give you a bit of a glance at his page. So you can see that is his picture of him. That is his real name, his nickname, where he was born, where he has passed away.
Sit.
Sit. It's almost saying, like, to the puppers, sit. Are you going to take a seat? Or did you just tell your companion to sit? And then here's another photo of the actual puppers. And then in case these names pop up, they're the wife and kids. All right, so far I got my bones and sit. I mean, that is kind of something you say to a companion puppers. Sit. And then they would. And I am already seated. I do happen to be in a chair, so unless they are trying to take a chair or trying to take a seat in the mini chairs, they can too. Well, that hasn't gone off at all until now. But I don't know if it's like, maybe it's like a glare? No? Because I did scan a little bit over there. I don't know. Was it a spirit?
My blood.
My blood? Did a spirit activate that ghost motion detector? Yeah? Oh, okay. Well, if it keeps going off, I'm going to have to put the viewers into blackout mode and turn it off, leaving you the skull one. If you activate the skull one too, it's a double confirmation you did indeed set off that. Because that's very tricky to set off that skull one, even when I'm facing it. Because it's not really, like, you have to pick it up in order to activate it. Was it a spirit from the Highland Lawn Cemetery that activated that? Or just a random spirit? So far it says, my bones, sit, and then my blood. Well, I mean, it is a mausoleum and it does have his family members. So he passed away at age 76. So I'm assuming maybe natural causes? It doesn't state. And just lets us know about his companion story. Oh, Blanche, you know?
Blanche.
Blanche. Yeah, I don't have a Blanche. It's funny because she was also trying to come through earlier in a session that I just actually had premiere today. I'll look you up, but I don't know if you're just randomly being spewed out from Spirit Talker. And nope, possibly not. Holy crap. There are 73 of you that reside there. So maybe it is a spirit that belongs at the Highland Lawn Cemetery that has that name. It did say my blood. Did you by chance happen to be related to that one that has a companion? I don't know. No, there's no H-E, yeah, no. So unless it happens to be like a maiden name that I'm just not seeing out of this. But yeah, there's a lot. So, all right. Well, like I said, you're probably one of these 73 that are listed. So hello. And maybe you're part of his family member, like in the family tree. Bye? Oh.
Bye.
I'm assuming Blanche. I don't know, they say Blanche, but I know a person I worked with that has that name, and she says it's okay to call her Blanche. So again, sorry, I guess maybe it wasn't her. But thank you for at least putting your name in. So, is there a possibility to get the person that I'm hoping to get in contact with and his companion? And if you could describe the companion, that'd be cool. Or maybe tell a story of what happened. Just so I know we are kind of like maybe in contact with that particular spirit. And yes, I've been getting a lot of noises over in that corner, as well as the ghost motion detector going off. And somebody is trying to drain energy from me. However, there are 3 lights in the room. If you can utilize that to gain energy, that'd be best for this session and all sessions. Use the lights to gain energy, please. Not me, not the EMF meter device, and I guess not the ones that I'm holding and the ones with the app. Maybe the candles. I mean, it's going to be a bummer to see them go, but I guess you could, I guess. I don't know. Because the only way to basically blow out that candle by the ghost stuffy is to switch it off or drain it completely. Potential.
Potential.
You may have potentially gained energy from me, probably unaware you were. Well, whatever energy you had taken from me at that moment, you can maybe utilize that energy to maybe tap a couple. I just realized something. They're all sons that are listed for his children.
I've been here for centuries.
Okay. So while I'm waiting for things to be spewed on this the Spirit Talker, I will see if any of the sons had a wife name. I don't like talking.
I don't like talking.
Okay, well, if you don't want to talk, you can have fun. I do have, like I said, the ghost motion detector, the skull motion detector to activate, and then these cat balls to bap and play with if you don't want to talk. Aww. So apparently the one of the sons didn't live very long. I didn't notice. Well, I just did a quick glance, but they didn't live. Aww. Oh, even worse, they're twins. Oh, and of that disease. Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss of your twins. If you're here, to the one that has the companion. I didn't know that. I just found that out as I was looking for a possibility of the spouses. So I believe this is his other one right here. Here's the twin. I'm so sorry. And here's his other kid who lived to be 70. Oh, that's good. And that would be this guy. Apparently there's a senior. So I'm assuming maybe that's the father's name. We have power.
We have power.
And no, that name for Blanche is not one of the spouses. And then the last one lived to be, not another one. Yet again, another infant, about 2 to 3 months. And this is the, so I don't think that's the twin. Oh, apparently it is a twin. It was a twin of the one I just showed you that lived to be older, the senior one. So there's 2 sets of twins. Dang. That's very rare, by the way, to have 2 sets of twins. Is this why you made me see this in the book? Not just about your companion, but maybe about your children? Is that why you gravitated me to that particular spot in the book? So I'm so sorry for your losses of your twins. There's three of the, see my shadow? No.
See my shadow.
So fortunately I can't see your shadow, but I can see if you tap a cat ball, they light up. That's the only way I can see your shadow. So again, I'm so sorry if the person who I'm trying to get in contact with to find out your children, 3 of your boys died very young due to diseases such as scarlet fever, and they were twins. So we do have, like I said, 1, 2 that got to live to adulthood, and the other ones not so much. I'm so sorry. His wife got to live pretty long. She got to live up to be 82. So there's a photo of her and her name, her real name, a lot of names that could possibly come out in this Spirit Talker. So she's the one that, again, did the statue, first the stuffy of the companion, and eventually the statue, due to what happened to the stuffy. Yeah. She's a beautiful girl, or woman. His voice.
His voice.
His voice. We will make a noise? Okay.
We will make a noise.
Well, it said his voice, and we will make a noise. So either they can whisper, speak, or make a noise. did hear a tink to the left top. I don't know if it was like the lamp or the picture frame, but it was definitely a tink. Encouragement.
Encouragement.
So when I do get that word, usually it's a sign for me to give the spirits a little tutorial on how the cat balls work to encourage them. So I'm going to tap a cat ball to demonstrate on how they can utilize these. And as usual, it probably will fail on me, but let's try it. Fingers crossed. Please work. Nope. Told you. Told you. Brand new. Apparently I had a... Yeah, let me just do that. See, that one was easy. I should have gone to that one first. Dang it. Anyways. And apparently with the turtle one, usually the spirits can activate that without me fiddling around with it, so I'm not going to worry about it. But that's how you are able to use these cat balls that are harmless to you. I can't see you, but if you tap it, it says, hey, I'm here. Hello, I'm here. See me? See me? And I'm like, yes, I do. You just lit up a cat ball. So that's how you can do it. If it helps. So again, if the person I have the page open to, if he can put his name down or some of the family members, or like I said, his companion. I don't know if the companion's name is on here, but maybe obviously what he is, as well as maybe the color of something. That'll help us clue us in if you're able to let us know that you're speaking to us.
I've been alone for years.
I don't know, that could be any spirit, but he did happen to be passing away in 1920, and then his wife didn't pass away till 1936, and then the children were, well, they passed away early, but the older adult ones lived to be 1955 and 1920, or sorry, 1950. Sorry, got a little blurry in my eyes. So he could have been alone for a few years until they were able to reunite with him. And I'm assuming they're all together. You're all together if you're here, including the puppers, your companion. Are you all resting together? Okay, maybe I'm just too close to them. A good spirit. Okay.
A good spirit.
I'm assuming a good spirit is here. But could it also be that the companion was a good boy? So maybe he's also a good spirit that's here? I have to shift my hand a little bit because it's a little stiff, and I'm also thirsty, so bear with me. Sorry. All right, let me try to. So, if that person can come through, it'd be awesome. Otherwise, I guess the viewers who are watching, hopefully you were able to pause the book, because again, I can't put the book on the what do you call it, the description, but I can of course put the link to his Find a Grave, so you guys can read anything from there. So, even though we may not be really getting in contact with this particular spirit, I did definitely want you guys to know about this spirit and his companion. And apparently they're unfortunate twin boys, two sets. One set didn't make it, the other set, half of them made it. Well, one of them didn't make it. I'm so sorry, again, for your losses. Keys?
Keys.
Keys. Maybe there was keys to the mausoleum? Does somebody have the keys to your mausoleum? Like a family member that's still living? I don't know. Yes, I can? Huh.
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can. I don't know. Maybe keys that can unlock the mausoleum, and they're saying, yes, I can unlock the mausoleum. I don't know. Or it just became kind of random. So if you see something flying, I just blew some fur off of the iPad. I was like, that's annoying. They're very long strands, so it's definitely not going to be obvious orbs or anything. Just in case they start to float back down. So recap. But yeah, again, just totally randomly thought, why not try this book? And as I fumbled through it, it didn't take long to see the Highland Lawn Cemetery and an interesting story about, again, that person and his companion. And I was like, I think this was a sign for me to do a session with this particular spirit and his companion. But again, if they do not appear to come through all the way, that was a big tap somewhere in the room. Not sure why. But yeah, could be a spirit, could be the room. You know, it's a hot day. So like I said, yeah, I'll give it a couple more minutes. Oh, do you feel me?
Do you feel me?
Not yet, but I thought you were going to say, did you hear me? And I would have been like, yeah, that was you. But no. So no, I don't feel you yet. So, yeah, I'll give it a couple more minutes. My famous last words. 20 minutes later. But I definitely want to say that I think it was a sign for me to give you guys a chance to learn about their story. And the ghost motion detector has not gone off since, so it could have definitely been a spirit. And I did ask, and an EMF meter did go up to yellow, so I'm assuming that they were saying, yeah, that was us. And I kept hearing noises in that corner, and just a second ago I just heard it again. And yeah. So if a viewer has a companion, aka a DOG, would you want that one to constantly visit your grave if they were able to? Until they pass away? Let me know in the comments below. Or would you prefer them to continue to live their life with the family members that are still living and not worry about following you and being with you? Gentleness?
Gentleness.
Because there is another story involving a loyal DOG and the master that he was obviously with. Let me see if I could find the movie. that you guys can read or watch. I just know it has an H in it. Yeah. So basically it's I can't pronounce it, but it's this one real quickly. And then
Gaining more energy.
all right, so they know that I'm going to be ending soon, so they're like, oh, better gain some energy. Okay. While you're gaining energy from the lights, I'm going to see if I can find the movie with Richard Gere. And so here you go. It's called At. So instead of the real name, they kind of shortened it, and A Dog's Tale. So if you guys are curious about watching a movie, it's very sad, by the way, but it's a really good a movie, and a book probably. So kind of reminded me of that when I was reading the story about the spirit that's from this cemetery and his companion. And I do feel saddened that they had the stuffy and the statue both vandalized a bit, to the point where they had to make sure.
Do you mean harm?
No, I do not mean harm. And these devices are not here to harm you at all. They're just here for me to communicate and see you. But to the point where his last statue being made of the companion is now supposedly in a museum. So, ay. So, also, the cemetery is very beautiful. I mean, just the gate entrance. Pretty cool. So, if the children, the twins, again, there's a set and half of a set that didn't make it in this family, if they are able to come here and want to play, I got little companion figurines you can move around. I got these clear balls that you just tap and they light up. They're very pretty. There's one on the seat right next to Oogie Boogie Boogie, the ghost stuffy. And I know that's a perfect size chair for children. And then, of course, the ghost motion detector and the skull.
Betrayal.
Not sure what they mean by betrayal. All right, I don't know what they mean by betrayal. Maybe they think that the cemetery betrayed them by taking the statue away from the actual mausoleum and putting it in a museum. Do they feel like the cemetery did that? It betrayed them? I mean, it stinks because they're all passed away. And they're like, they won't know, but we can't have this here anymore. So they just put it in a museum. Painting's eyes.
Painting's eyes.
Interesting. It's not painted eyes, it's painting's eyes. Maybe because they had to paint the statue the color of the eyes. Oh, darn.
My name is Joseph.
Got so close to a J name. Dang. Okay. Hi, Joseph. you know, there's 531 Josephs that reside there. I'm not going to bother poking at you. I just know if you're a spirit that resides there, hello and welcome. If you by chance know who this person is that I'm trying to get a hold of, who had a companion puppers, I'm not trying to say the actual word with a D, but if you can kind of inform him that I'm having a session about him, so he can come through and put his name down, or somebody in the family, or mention something about his companion. Maybe describe the companion. That'd be awesome if you can help me out, Joseph. Please. Because I do need to eventually wrap things up on this recorded session. And if you want to have fun, you can with the balls. I don't know how old you are, but yeah. Miracles?
Miracles.
Mm. Maybe they're referring to one of the twins, that it was a miracle that one of them survived. Because again, there's two sets of twins. One set didn't make it. The other set, one of them didn't make it, but another one did survive to adulthood. Maybe that's what they're referring to, miracles. And they did have, again, another son at the very beginning that lived to be an adult too. Otherwise, maybe they're saying it's a miracle that the companion was able to do what it did to stay by its owner's side even when it passed away, the owner. To the point where the puppers ended up passing away by the pillar by the mausoleum. That was definitely a man's best friend. Did not want to leave its side. And again, I hope that those two are resting in peace together in heaven with their family. Oh.
I lost an arm.
Okay. Is that Joseph? Because maybe Joseph's informing me that he was a possible veteran. You may have served in the military or army, and that's how you lost your arm. I mean, if that's the case, it could definitely narrow things down. I'm still not going to bother, but I'll go ahead and put veteran. And whoever makes it shorter. 36 that are putting with a V was a veteran. Maybe, I don't know, can I give a little push to graveyard?
Graveyard.
Well, yes, I am trying to find you in the Highland Lawn Cemetery. So we have, again, 36 that have the veteran tag, which helps. I'm trying to find a picture of anybody who happens to show an arm missing. I don't know. Anyway. So it went from 531 to 36 if you are referring to you having to lose an arm during a war. So again, if I can get in contact with that particular spirit, with another J name that had a companion of a specific puppers, can you come through before I have to wrap things up and end the session? And I have to switch my body around. And for the ghost motion detector not to go off, kind of makes me feel like it definitely burned. Okay. Maybe they're informing me that in the graveyard something was burned. Maybe because again, somebody did something to this stuffy that the wife had made of the dog. Sorry, I said the word. Oh well. Again, somebody SHOT added, in particular the EYE of it. So I know that there's definitely people that were bad, that did stuff, so they could have easily set things on fire. Not sure if it's tied to close to the mausoleum, but probably somewhere in that graveyard. Usually. So usually there are bad humans that do silly things, and possibly burn things. Maybe like for rituals. Because if all cemeteries could be considered haunted, so of course there's going to be some interesting children that want to experiment things, which is never good. Otherwise, maybe they're letting us know that maybe some of them were cremated. Okay, well, I'm around the water.
I'm around the water.
Well, maybe the puppers is having a sip of water. I mean, it is a water bowl. You can have a sip of water. I don't know. Should I see if it moves? So I forget when I zoom in with this little thing, does it actually stay zoomed in when I replay back? Because I forget. Because I said I zoomed in and it didn't zoom in. When I was like, wait, I thought I zoomed in. So we'll see. So I'm trying to zoom in to the water bowl to see if I can see it move in case the pupper's tongue slapping at it. I don't know. It just said I'm around the water. Alright. I'm zooming out. Alright, well, I think I'm just going to assume that they're not able to come through. Or at least put their names in. So maybe I'll just ask them. Is the spirit of Jahan, that's his real name, there is a nickname, Henil, can't pronounce that. If your spirit is here, it's about to begin.
It's about to begin.
So if Jahan wants to put his nickname down, he can. He was, again, born 1844, passed away in 1920. And he had a companion who was a bulldog that was so loyal to him that even after passing, the puppers would escape to go back to the mausoleum where his owner rests. To the point where he did this so often that there was a point where they found the puppers passed away by a pillar next to the mausoleum. So I'm assuming as soon as he passed away, hopefully he was able to cross the Rainbow Bridge and meet his owner. Describe.
Describe.
Describe what? The dog? Well, I have a picture of it. I don't need to describe it, but I can show a similar version of him, the puppers. But again, it's a statue or something like that. And again, supposedly the eyes are that color you see up above. Unsure if it'll be said throughout this session. Trying to wrap things up. But yeah, he's a little short, medium-size puppers. DOG. Environment.
Environment.
Describe the environment. It's hot and humid currently. And where I reside, it's California, so you're from Indiana, so maybe the temperatures over there is a lot cooler. Okay. So if you guys happen to be at a bookstore, you guys should probably look into that Haunted Places book that I showed. Here's some other ones that I also found, which is from the same author. It's this one, the international one. So it's places that are in international. Cult? Huh. That's interesting. As soon as I showed the book, it said cult. That was a big thump. Did someone make a noise over here by the closet door? To the leftish area? And then the other, hatred again.
Hatred.
So maybe the spirit Jahan has some hatred towards the person or people that vandalized his companion's stuffy, like, I don't know, monument or something, or the statue. I wouldn't blame you. That was kind of uncalled for. So here's another thing. Apparently it was a college student, by the way. Around 1985, that did it again. Tisk, tisk, tisk. What were they thinking? Disrespectful. The other thing that I have that's a cool book that you might be interested in, especially if you are somebody who resides in California. Here's this one. Alright, so again, cool. And then, of course, I just happened to tell you this. I believe this is the Winchester...
Anvil.
I'm going to skip that one. So right here, a Winchester Mystery House. My session that's going to air for tomorrow, which is Wednesday, that was a good session. Not because of the book, because I actually visited and toured the place in 2018, and I thought, why not give it a try? And it seemed like I was in contact. Injury?
Injury.
Maybe somebody had an injury due to the anvil falling on them? I don't know. Alright, to the spirits that were here, Jahan, your companion puppers, if they were here. I do have to wrap it up. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to cut these sessions to not be too long. But to the viewers, there's the story again of Jahan. I don't want to say his name, his nickname, but you saw what it was. And his puppers, again, this one, that name will never probably pop up, but maybe the color, that could have been cool if it did. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the session. What do you guys think, spirits? Did you enjoy the session? Can you light up the EMF meter or cat balls or anything to let me know if you enjoyed the Detective Lazaria session about the Highland Lawn Cemetery in Indiana? Despite not seeing if I was really in contact with the one I was trying to get in contact with, but I tried. You can't win them all, right? So this at least allows the viewers to know about the books I have. Oh, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Is this Jahan? I know we're ending it, but is this Jahan? H-E-I-N-L as your last name? Is this him? Can you give me a sign that this is him? Maybe you can go to the EMF meter to yellow, or maybe a little bit okay. Or I was going to say orange or red. And then these things can also confirm. I'm going to pray to God this one works. If you tap these clear balls, why does it not work? The difficult ball. Okay, exclude that one. And this one. Okay. Why? I don't know why these balls don't work. It's a brand new ball. I only have 2 new balls left. I haven't opened the package of those, but that's grr. Anyways. Alright. Like I said, if you can tap a cat ball, Jahan, H-E-I-N-L, to let us know you were here. You're just having difficulty using the app. At least maybe you can try to tap a cat ball to say you're here. Don't tell people? Oh.
Don't tell people.
A little too late. Yeah, I think I know next time I'm going to put the new Frogger one back on the seat. And then have the kitty cat one. I think at least that kitty cat one I can actually activate for future sessions. Right. Crime.
Crime.
Crime. Well, I mean, it was a crime that whoever vandalized the statue as well as the stuffy of the companion that the wife made and trying to place it near or at your mausoleum, and then they did vandalize it. That's definitely a crime. Hopefully they definitely felt, stupid at the end. It's like, why did I do that? So this is the story, if I can click on it. So, like I said, it's saying that a college
Ball.
Yes, cat ball. Or, a DOG does like balls. So it's kind of like, you know, I can't throw it, but you can pick it up with your mouth if you're the DOG. Are you aware I'm here?
Are you aware I'm here?
Sort of. If you were to tap a ball, they light up, so it definitely confirms you're here. So I'll read the leftover of the story. So a college student, SHOT, at one of his, the color that you saw there, eyes, and at the time the cemetery told the family he could not remain in the cemetery, so he ended up in a museum. So that's kind of definitely a crime. 1985, really? It's probably worse now, huh? Hopefully no one's tagging rests, like the headstones that are there. It's probably a went from, yeah, anyways. It's funny how it did say ball. And I'm like, yes, ball. Shadows move?
Shadows move.
Well, that is true. Shadows do move, especially their spirits, or, you know, the sun moves, so does the shadows. Mm-hmm. All right. Maybe this is, okay, I'm just going to test this out. If I remove these guys out of the picture, maybe it's just upsetting the companion. Like, why are those things there? So now that I remove that, maybe they can come through. And hold on, what is this? A little lint, of course. What is that? All right, like I said.
Incident.
Incident? All right. Thank you. I'm gonna end it. So I wish you a good rest.
I'm by your side.
Oh. Okay. Well, I guess you couldn't be by my side, but I'm gonna end this session. If you happen to say your name after I end it, then I'll pop it back on for a quick part 2, but right now I think this will be it. So again, thank you to all the spirits from maybe Highland Lawn Cemetery, as well as the spirit of Jahan, aka nickname right there, and his companion, which was a bulldog. I hope they all are resting up in heaven peacefully with the family. All right, bye.